Okay, so Ve'elu Hagimel Bechina. So till now we were discussing the three layers of human impact on the world, right? One is through action, the other one was through speech, and the other one was through thought, right? The three layers. So now this is the summary of the ideas here, and how they. So we said the three layers are related to the three layers of this of human soul, right? So now he says Ve'elu Hagimel Bechines, and these three um, aspects, Maase, Dibur, Machshava, action, speech, and thought. Hein klala bechines pnimius shelo odom. They include all of the aspects of the inner parts of an odom, of a person. Shehema gimel bechinas, which are the three layers of the soul. Nefesh, the lowest one is called nefesh, ruach, spirit, and neshama, and the soul. Right. So we have nefesh, ruach, neshama. Right. So now he elaborates. So action, he bechinas hanefesh. Action is from the aspect of the nefesh, is related to the nefesh. Right? And how does he know this? He brings from psukim now. Right? It says, for example, in Torah, nefesh asher ta'aseh, and the nefesh, right? I don't know how to translate nefesh without translating a soul again, but the nefesh asher ta'aseh. So we see the word ta'aseh, to do, right, to act, is always connected with the word nefesh. In another place, it says hanefoshes ha'oisos, the nefoshes, the nefoshes that do, right? V'harbe kayoyts, and many such. Right, so we see that whenever the word action is mentioned, it doesn't. It's usually connected with the word nefesh. So we see that nefesh is connected with the idea of action.
What type of action are we talking about?
Physical action, just physical. The lowermost impact of the human being is through action, and that's connected to his nefesh. Okay, a parallel to his nefesh. Okay, now it also says ki hadam hu hanefesh, right? The pasuk prohibits eating, right, for Jews to eat blood, and it says hadam hu hanefesh. The blood is the soul, is the nefesh. Again, the word is nefesh. And now he says nefesh, that's the symbolic residence. So each of these three layers of the soul have a symbolic residence within the physical body. Okay, so the symbolic residence of the nefesh, the lower part of the soul, is in the dam, is in the blood. Because the nefesh rests umislabesh and clothes itself bedam ha'odam, in the blood of a person. Again, so this is mostly symbolic. Let me just finish this and then I'll elaborate a little bit. Therefore, ikar mishkana bekoved. Therefore, the primary resting place of the nefesh is bekoved, is in the liver. Okay, shehu kuloidam, because the liver is completely engulfed in blood. Umerutzas hadam b'chol prote chelke evorim klei hamase, and the circulation of the blood runs through the entire person. So therefore, there is no part of the person that's not circulated by blood. So that's why we are connecting the action part of the human being with the circulatory system. Because again, so what I want to say is that back in the day, right, we have two systems that run through our whole body, and that's the circulatory system and the nervous system, right? So I think I don't think they how much, at least I don't know how, from a physical perspective, I don't know how much they were aware of the nervous system within the human being. They knew that the blood ran through the entire system, so kind of the physical sustenance of life came from the blood, right? So the action is always connected to the blood system, but I think Rabbi Eric Kaplan says that possibly that had they had the new, or possibly they don't mean the blood as the blood, but possibly they mean the nervous system, because the nervous system is more of like a sensor reflex type of a system. But the idea is the same. Again, most likely this is just symbolic, just like God's residence. There is right, that God is supposed to rest in the Beis Hamikdash, right? Does that mean the entire infinity of God is present there? That's not possible. It makes no sense, right? But symbolically, somehow Hashem rested within the physical world, right? So there's a physical location in the world that symbolically represents God's residence in this world. So too, the nefesh, which is the lower part of the soul of the human being, has a symbolic residence within the human being, within the human body. That residence is kaved, is in the liver, or symbolically in the liver, and connected to the entire circulatory system. Okay, so who hanoisin lehem chiyus tnua v'yisoyrus. So the blood gives life sustenance to all of the all the body parts. V'yisoyrus in action. Sheyuchal lifol v'lasos es asher b'koichem. Without the sustenance of the blood, he cannot do anything with their power. V'im yumna merutzas adam me'ever echad. And if blood is held back from any body part, that limb will dry up. Won't be able to make any movement. Will not do any action. It's a dead limb, right? So that's why the blood is connected to the action part of our being. Okay. Next level, vadibur. So now what about speech? Speech is connected to the aspect of the soul, which is called the ruach, which is the spirit, right? As it's written, ruach Hashem diber bi, the spirit of God spoke through me, right? Another place there's a beruach sfosov, with the breath, with the kind of the wind of his lips, the spirit of his lips, right? Ruach and spirit, ruach is wind, ruach spirit is the same word. And just like, oh, by the way, Unkelos says on the pasuk, Nefesh chaya, and that pasuk that we just already brought up a few times, that Adam became the Nefesh chaya, a living soul. How does Unkelos translate it? He doesn't translate it as living soul. Nefesh chaya, right? Nefesh chaya means nefesh is soul. Chaya means living. How does Unkelos translate it? He's supposed to be a translator. How does he say it? He translates l'ruach memalala, to a speaking spirit. Okay, so Nefesh Chaya Unkelos translates as speaking spirit. So we see again clearly from this Unkelos, it's 100% clear that speech and ruach are directly Aramaic, right? V'chein nire le'ayin, and as you could see, just physically, you could see shebechol dibur she'odam moitzim mipiv yoytze ruach v'hevel me'apeh. From every utterance of the mouth, there is some air coming that emanates from the mouth. Umishkan haruach, and where does the spirit symbolically reside in the human being? Ikrahu belief. That is primarily in the heart.
So that's the second one.
That's the second one. So the second layer is the heart. Okay, and again, if you want to think about it, I mean, we always also say, speaking from the heart, right? Speaking from the depths, right? Why speaking from the heart? Why not speaking from my mind? I'm speaking from the heart. That's my innermost. That's my being, right? So also, if you want to speak about there's a connection between the lungs and the heart also, right? The lungs, the blood, as it flows through the lungs, it becomes oxygenated, gets back into the heart, and then gets pumped through the rest of the body. Right? Kiruach vehevel adibur, for spirit and the breath of speech. Ikra v'reishisohu olam alev. It originates from the heart. Okay, and finally the third level of machshava, he mebechinas neshama, that comes from the neshama, from the higher level of the soul. Shehi hamelamedes laodam dea. That's the part of the spiritual part of the person that teaches a person dea, knowledge of bina and understanding, b'Torah kadosha, and our holy Torah. Lechein, therefore, ikar mishkana hu b'moich. So therefore, the primary residence of the neshama is in the brain. Moich is in the brain. Kli ha-machshava, that's the vessel of thought. V'hi ha-bechina ha-elyoina shebehem, and that's the uppermost bechina, this uppermost aspect of them all. V'chein omru b'Bereishis Rabbah Parsha Yudal Chamisha Shemas Nikru Lo. Right? We in Bereishis Rabbah we mentioned this before, and he brought this earlier. Right? That the soul really has 5 layers. Right? It's called with 5 names. Nefesh. Again, the Nefesh. So it's Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida. Those are the 5 layers. So Nefesh ze Adam. So the Medrash Rabbah says the Nefesh is the blood, the Ruach, etc. Neshama. The neshama part, zuha oifia dibiriyasa. That's the essence or the center, or the guide. The oifia is a peculiar word, different trend, but the idea is the same. It's the guide. It's the main driver of the creature. What's the Rotzaloimer? What does it mean? The main guide. That's his thought. So everything originates from thought. All of my words, all of my actions, they all originate from my thoughts. Like the Aruch and Rashi explain over there. right? So again, so we have the three layers of our neshama: nefesh, ruach, and nefesh, ruach, and neshama. Nefesh is connected parallel to our action. Ruach is parallel to our speech, and neshama is parallel to our thoughts. Okay, he's going to now elaborate on this. He's going to explain this. Just want to just point out, right? This is a famous this idea that uh, we say in the morning we say two brachas, right? We say the bracha of Asher Yatzar, and we follow it by Elakai Neshama, right? Some people in the Art Scroll Siddur they have Birchas Torah between the Asher Yatzar and Elakai Neshama, right? But the other minhagim, the in Shulchan Aruch is brought down to say
The first
Asher Yotzer and Elakai Neshama as one piece. That they're considered what's called bracha smucha lechaverta, meaning Elakai Neshama does not begin with the word baruch, right? Each bracha is supposed to begin with the word baruch. Why doesn't Elakai Neshama begin with the word baruch? Because it's a continuation, exactly. It's because it's a continuation of Asher Yotzer.
Why do we break it down?
Right?
There's big space. There's a lot of stuff in
So why do right? So that's why many have the minhag to say it together, not the way Art Scroll printed. I'll explain why in a second. So basically, so the idea is like this. So the idea is again from this unkelus that he just brought down. He said like this on the pasuk. What does the pasuk say? And the man became a living soul, right? Targum says became a speaking spirit, right? The pasuk starts out. How did this pasuk start out? The pasuk starts out that in God breathed the soul into the man, and the man became nefesh chaya, speaking spirit, right? So when did the man become a speaking spirit? When the soul was connected to the body. Okay, so when the soul is connected to the body, that's the real human being that's created. Before there were two parts. There's the neshama part, the spiritual part, and then there's the physical part. And then when those two parts were connected, that's now the human being. And what this human being, primarily the way the Targum Onkelos defines him, is a speaking spirit, right? Okay, why is that? So the answer is like this. So and again, so if you look at the Asher Yotzer and Lakai Neshama, Asher Yotzer is a blessing that we say every morning. You know, we say it after we use the bathroom, but primarily the bracha is about the wonders of the physical body, the human body, right? So it's all about right, all about right the physical body, and it ends off Baruch Hashem, Refei Kol Basar, right? He heals all flesh, but it means like he makes us who we are, and Umaflila Asois, and does wonders. What's that mean? What's the connection over there with does wonders? Especially the word pella, the word wonders means like the highest miracle possible. Like there's nes, miracle, and then there's pella. Pella is like beyond nes. Okay? And then continues the bracha alakai neshama, which is a separate bracha about the creation of the soul. Right? So now, so the Ramah says that the words maflila asois is that connective phrase that does wondrously, is the connective phrase between the first blessing and the second blessing. How is that the connective phrase? So if you understand the Onkelos, it works out beautifully, because the Onkelos says, what is the connective, right? So there are three parts, and especially if you work it out here, and he's going to explain, there are three parts of the neshama. There is the lower part called the nefesh. There is a higher part called neshama. And then there is the connective part, okay, between the neshama and the nefesh. That's what we call ruach. Ruach is that middle part that connects the lower part of the soul to the higher part of the soul, right? And the primarily, where is that connection between the physical entity and the spiritual entity? Where do you see that connection? So according to the Torah, that primarily is visible through speech. Why specifically speech? Why not action? Because speech is our ability to express ideas, right? Ideas are not physical. Ideas are abstract concepts. They're not physical, right? Yet we are able to express them. We can only express them by using our physical body to move the lips, right? To move our mouthpiece and be able to express those spiritual ideas, like what we're doing right now, right? We're talking Torah, so we're expressing spiritual ideas with the movement of our lips. Action is not always intelligent. Action could be instinctual, right? You go to the doctor hits you on your knee, right? The neurologist hits you on your knee moves around. So there are instincts within our body that's not has nothing to do with our intellect. On the other hand, the primary place where our intellect is able to express itself is in the mouth, and so therefore, so Onkelos is very beautiful. Onkelos is saying when Hashem breathed the spiritual element into the physical body, what did he then become? Then he became a speaking spirit, right? So it's the speech that was so the our ability to speak is our expression of the connection between the physical and the spiritual, right? So then comes out like this. So we have two brachas. We have Asher Yotzer, that's our praise for our physical part. We have Lakai Neshama, that's our praise for our spiritual part. And in the middle, there's something called Umaflila Sois that does wondrously, right? And if you find, let's say Torah talks about neder, right? How does the Torah call neder? It says v'yishki yafli, when a man does a wonder, and he creates a neder. The Rambam calls the section that deals with nedorim calls it haflo. All right, why is that? Because the neder is like the highest ability of speech. Why is that? What's so special about that? And neder, shvuah, like what's so special? The special is that I make a promise, right? And I create a certain reality with my speech. I say, this book should now forever be osir to me, right? That's a neder, right? This should be like, or this cup should go to Hekdesh. All of a sudden, with my words, I designate a reality, right? And that's the wonder of speech. The wonder of speech is that it's not just words, it's just empty words. That words can actually have impact in the world, right? So that's the biggest wonder. The wonder of it, the physical part, that's a beautiful thing. That's an amazing thing. There's the spiritual part, that's a beautiful part, an amazing thing. But the real wonder is the connection between the infinite spiritual and the very finite physical. That's like the real wonder. That's umafli lasoy. So that does wondrously. And primarily, again, where does that expression of wonder comes through? That's in our ability to speak. And that's why the human being, according to Torah, that highest level, is called a medaber, it's called a speaker, right? Our primary, highest aspiration is to be able to be a man of words, a man to express intelligent ideas through speech, right? Or what the world calls a man of letters, right? So, anyway, you see, it's going to work out even better according to what he says later.
What happens to if like how does it work the goyim's the goyish thought process since they don't have the neshama?
I don't know.
They have to have a puzzle also like this.
Right. So obviously, again, I don't know. I have no idea, but probably there must have some sort. They're not human, right? We're all human. I don't know exactly what the difference between, in the spiritual makeup of a Jew and a non-Jew. I have no idea. We presume that there's some kind of a difference,
like
right?
a substance,
But we have no idea what I don't I don't. Yeah, presumably there's some kind of a more intimate connection to God that a Jew has, right? That a non-Jew does not have. But what exactly? I don't know. How do we know? It might be in the higher levels of Chai Yechida. It might not be not in the Neshama. Neshama also has many layers. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. Okay. Anyways, so let's continue. So Parak Tesvav. Now we start Parak Tesvav. V'chi Yipole. Now he's going to elaborate. Now he says there's a wonder. Haloi neshama perusha hu neshima. The word neshama, we mentioned this before, and the word neshama, which means a soul, comes from the word neshima, which means breath. Right? Now he says, according to what I just explained, that doesn't seem to be an appropriate name. Right? It seems that the breath of person is from the heart or from the lungs, but it's from here, right? It's not It's not the moyach. It's not. There's no breath in the brain, right? V'gam ki harehu bechinas or choizer ve'in bechina elyoina. It's this is Kabbalistic terminology which I'm not familiar with. It's a bechinas or choizer. It's a refracted light, and not a lofty light, or whatever that means. Okay, but anyway, so neshima is we just finished, like I said, is connected to the ruach, not the neshama. So why do we call neshama by the word which is connected to the word neshima, which means breath? That's his question. Amnam. However, ha'inyan shenikras beloshen neshima. Here's the reason why it's called neshima, breath. Eina kavona bechinas neshima sa'odam. It's not referring to human breath, neshima sa'odam. Ela kaviyachal neshimas piv yizbarach shmo. It's referring to godly breath, to God's breath, kaviyachal, as if, right? It's not referring to human breath, it's referring to Hashem's breath. Right? K'moshe Kosov, as it's written, Vayipach be'apav nishmas chaim, and he breathed into him a living soul, nishmas chaim, neshama, right? Mm-hmm. So, right, Ukvarim himshilu Rabbi Seinu Zal, and this mashal, our rabbis use this mashal in Sanhedrin, Inyan hishtalshalus haruach chaim be'odom, the connection to the chain, to the link of the souls that a person has, connected la'asiyas klei zechuchis, to the forming of a glass vessel. We mentioned this parable before, right? That comparison to creation, this vayipach be'apav nishmas chaim, breathing a soul into a human being, is compared to creating a glass vessel, which is right, which is okay, we're going to explain. Le'inyan tchias emesim, and this is used in connection to tchias emesim. V'omru, so they said over there in Sanhedrin, kal v'choymer mekli zechuchis. So we have a kal v'choymer, right, from a glass kli, from a glass vessel. She'omlam beruach basar v'don. It's made with breath of basar v'don, of flesh. So basar v'don, so therefore human being, sheberucha shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is created with the breath of Hashem. Alachas kama v'kama. How much more so? So let me explain. They cut out the main part. He's just saying that the Gemara says like this, that, right, we believe in Tchias HaMesim, resurrection of the dead. So the Gemara says, Kal v'chomer, that if you take a glass vessel and it broke, and if you put it back into the fire and you remelt it, you could fix it through recreation, right? Mm-hmm. Right? You could fix it through recreation. If a glass vase could be recreated by putting it back into the kiln, so halachas kama v'kama, can a human being can be restored to purity through Tchias HaMesim. That's the line in the Gemara. We're not going to go into that. But the point that he wants from here is that you see that the rabbis are using, comparing formation of a human being to formation of a glass kli. And you can see it also in the Medrash and Tehillim, same idea. And so he says like this: the comparison is very precise. If you compare the breath of piha uman, of the glass maker, b'kliyas chuchis, in the glass vessel, be'esas yosa nimtza b'gimel bechinas, you will find three possible layers. Bechina rishoina, the first level, who kineshimas hahevel hu adayin toich piv. The first level, when he collects air in his mouth. Koidem boil toich chalal hashifayferes, before it even enters the little tube that he has in order to blow the air into the vessel. Achalula, the empty pipe that he has. Ein lekroisa oz ela b'shem neshima. So then it's called breath, when it's inside the mouth of the glass blower. V'abechina hashein is the second layer. K'shenichnas hahevel, when that breath, when he blows it out and he goes into that tube, it goes into the tube, benimsheches k'moy kav, and turns into a kav, turns into this connective. Kav, it means like a straight line. So it's a connective line. Oz nikra ruach, so that we're going to call a ruach, wind or spirit in this case. V'abechina gimel atachtoina, and the last bechina, the last layer of the creative process of the glass kli, hu k'sheyotza haruach ma'ashif haferes, when the ruach, the wind, leaves the tube, l'toich azechuchis, and enters the glass. Umispashetas besoicha, and then it spreads out inside the glass. Ad shenashes kli kefirotzu namezage, until the kli reaches the shape that the glass blower wants it to reach. Oz machli rucha, then his breath ends. V'nikra oz nefesh. Nefesh means, right, like we say, loshen shviso menucha, it means to rest. Like we say, Hashem shavas, vayinafash, right? Vayinafash means what? Means he paused, he rested, right? Shavas, he rested, vayinafash, and he stopped, right? Whatever it is, it stopped. He stopped, right? So the point is, so nefesh is from the language of breath, but it's a language of like pause, like relax, like take it slow, right? So that's why the lowest. So this says the comparison is very perfect. There is the initial breath which is collected in the glass blower's mouth. There is the breath that goes through the wind, that the powerful wind that goes through the tubing, and then there is the kli that it finds its shape, and when it found its shape, it pauses. Right? Came b'dinyan hazeh. Similarly, in this comparison, hu inyan agimel b'chinas neiron are the three layers of the neiron, of nefesh, ruach, and neshama. Shemushpoim kaviyochol mineshimas pivis baruch shmo, which are coming down, as if to say, from the breath of Isbarach Shmo of Hashem, blessed be His name. Shebechinas hanefesh hiya bechina tachtoina. The bechina of nefesh is the lowest layer. Sheikula b'soich haguf. It's completely and entirely resting within the physical body.
But that's what was said in the last chapter.
What?
That's just a repetition of what was said in the last chapter.
I don't know. I mean, yes, he summarizes a lot. Okay, ubechinas haruach hu bo derech eru lemala, and the bechina of ruach goes through this eru, through this sprint, through the force from above. Shechelek v'kotza elyon, the uppermost part shaloi kosher v'nechas l'mayla v'bechina tachtoina shel neshama. So the uppermost part, the topmost part of the ruach is connected to the neshama. Umishtal shelas, and it extends v'nichnas gam b'toich gufa odam, and the lower part goes into the physical body. Umiskasheres shom b'bechina elyon shel nefesh, and it's connected there with the uppermost part of the nefesh. Kamashi kosav, as it's written, ad yara aleinu ruach memoram, until the ruach memoram, a spirit from above, like woke us up, or got stirred us away. Eshpoich esruchio, we say we pour forth our spirit. Shehu mushpa be'odam derech shvicha v'eiroi kanal. It's compared to this thing that's something that pours forth over you. It's so right. It comes down like a force from the neshama. So there's the neshama, which is in the uppermost part. There's the nefesh, which is the lowermost part, and then there's this ruach, which is the main connective kind of I don't know, it's tissue, but connective element between the two. We're going to later explain exactly how they're connected. Amnam. So again, we got the nefesh is totally inside the human being. The ruach has a part, the lower part is still inside, and it keeps going outside and somewhere connected to the neshama. Amnam bechinas neshama, the aspect, the layer of neshama, hi haneshima atzma, that's the neshima, that's the breath. Where is that located? Where is the breath is located? We just said it's not my breath, so whose breath is it? It's the breath of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? Shepnimius atzmusa mistateres behelim. The etzem, the essence of the neshama is hidden within the concealment, meaning it's out there. It's so high up, we have no real connection to it, no direct link to our neshama. Umikoira baruch kaviyochol besoich neshimas pivas baruch shmoy. And this the uppermost part of the neshama, where is it located? It's located, so to speak, in the mouth of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. She'ein atzmus mehusa nichneses klal b'soich gufa odam. The essence of the neshama does not enter the body of a human being. V'odam harishan koidem lechachet zochel atzmus. Now, the truth is, he says, the first man, Adam Harishan, did merit. He was on that madrega that the neshama was part of him. The neshama was part of him. Right. Ubesiba sachet nistalka mitoicha. And after the sin, that's when the neshama departed from him. V'nishar rak chayfefes lov. It will only remain as a halo, as something that surrounds him. Chayfefes lov. It's like hovers over him. Okay. Levad Moshe Rabbeinu, except for Moshe Rabbeinu, Shalom shezoch latzmusa l'toich gufa. Moshe Rabbeinu was the only one afterwards that was zoicha to that essence. V'lechei nikra ish elakim. That's why he is called ish elakim, a man of God. Kiyadua shegol gimel oilomis. Like it says, all the three worlds: bria, yitzira, asiya, right? Creation, formation, action. Mebechinas haneshama dilhoin ulamaila. They really come from the bechina, from the aspect of the neshama and above. Hu elakus gomer. Okay, all not the three worlds. I'm saying the the parts of the three worlds which are from neshama and above. That's total godliness over there. There's no it's not physical at all. It's complete elakus gomer. It's complete godliness. And he says, if you look at list of things that you could see that. Okay. All right. Next, I'm just skipping the next line. Besides Moshe Rabbeinu, besides Adam Arishan, no other person was zoicha to it. And the notes that point out that it's really not so. He later himself says that Eliyahu Hanavi, Chanoich, there were other people that got maybe even higher levels. But okay, but that's not important for the main point. The point is that there are these select individuals throughout history that had a direct connection to neshama, but every single person after that has the neshama is so high up there, it's in the, so to speak, in the mouth of Hashem. We don't really have a direct connection to us. What's our connection to the neshama? So this is rak bihirus nitzoytzei oir misnoytzitzi mimenu al roisho odom azoicheleho. Only like sparks of the lower part of the neshama occasionally light up within our head. So there's an occasional sparks of brightness that descend upon a person. If he really works hard, the most he could be zoicha to was like a little raindrops of inspiration. Obviously, each person according to his own level, right? Okay, so. And then, so now he's going to prove from Zohar to the point that he is making. All right, he says, "V'ayin b'raya mehemna v'yipach be'apav nishmas chaim," and Hashem breathed into him nishmas chaim. Do ihi diyukna the al barnash. This is the face, that's above the person. Ubezohar chodosh. Okay, I don't know if it's necessary for I to read this. Mm-hmm. The point is that it's later, the last line maybe is interesting. It says, "V'shari alei de barnash." It rests upon a person. V'socher alei mikol sitron. It surrounds him from all sides. V'hu yisoru d'shari alei me'aser ilohu. That hovering that comes upon him, that's from a lofty place. Umay shmei. What's that hovering called? Neshama shmei. That's called the neshama. Okay, so the neshama, not even the whole neshama, those sparks of light that come from the neshama, that gives a person a bina yisera, that lofty understanding. Lehaskil hasichlius apnimim hagnuzim b'sereseinu hakadosha. All the secrets, the innermost secrets that are hidden within our holy Torah, right? So this, when we talk about Kabbalah, we talk about spiritual knowledge. It's not really what's written in the book, and it's not really what you learn. That's just some some tools, some ABCs that you're able to maybe start opening some doors. But the real knowledge can only come from when a person reaches his own personal connection to those sparks of the neshama, and that's the only way to get to the innermost of the Torah. When he works so hard, he gets that intimate connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that the sparks of light from that neshama can come down on him. Then he gets, so to speak, let's call it enlightenment, right? Nirvana, whatever you wanna call that, right? Kumash Kosov b'sefer, I'm not sure which sefer it is. Lech lecha neshama is saras leinish bina. The neshama stirs up in a person in his understanding. Ubezoyer chodosh and Rus, V'yisayir be b'chachmasa ilah, and he is stirred up with a lofty wisdom. V'ayin be'etz chaim, look at be'etz chaim, he says like this, Amnam loy kol adam zoiche lezeh, not every person could be zoiche to this madrega. V'da, ki mishi yesh b'yod ha'koyach b'ma'asav, if a person is able with his action to reach that level, oz yeh lo zchira niflo b'torah, he's going to have like an unbelievable memory in Torah. All of a sudden, just like this enlightenment hits and the person has perfect memory. V'yoven kol rozei Torah, and he'll understand all of the secrets of the Torah. V'yizgalu loy rozei Torah ketikun, and he'll understand really the secrets of the Torah properly. He'll get a true understanding of them. Ad kan. V'ayin lehalon, again, look later, we're going to explain even more. Right? So again, so when a person reaches that neshama, then like all of a sudden there's like that moment where just things begin to make sense. Okay? Okay, V'zeu she'omer, let's read one more paragraph. Yeah, and then we'll stop, yeah. Although we're just very close to the end. Yeah, let's see. Okay, V'zeu she'omer HaKosov, and this is what the Pasuk says, Achein ruach hi be'enosh v'nishmas shaddai tavinei. Right, this is the Eov is saying there's a spirit in the man, right? V'nishma Shaddai Tivineim, and the neshama of Shaddai, of Hashem, Tivineim will understand, make them understand. Shebechinas haruach hu mishtal shelo mushpa u'v'nichnas b'seich odom. The part of the ruach, the spirit, is extended down and enters the human being. Aval neshama, which is called here nishmas shakai, the neshama of Hashem. Rotzuloimer, again, Nishimas Pivis Baruch Shmoy, the breath of Hashem's mouth, Einat Smusa Mushpo Mizgal B'Seichodom, it does not come down and it gets revealed within Adam, within a person. Kihimeroimim Tishkan, it's residence way up there. B'Soich Pivis Baruch Kavyochel, in the mouth of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rak Shihana Senes Lebina, however, it does give him understanding. By shedding some sparks on him. Lehaskiloi, to enlighten him, in the depths of the hidden secrets of the Torah. Okay? So why do we say that the neshama resides in the brain? Yeah. Right? We don't really say that the neshama resides there. We're just referring to all in Itzotze Ziv Oira Mesakelas Moicha V'Sichla. We're only referring to those little sparks that enlighten the brain. Lo yatzmusa mamash, but not really the neshama itself. V'ikar kavanos mazal al bechinas gimel reishe shel haruach soida moichin. And really, when we're talking about those sparks, we're really just speaking about really the uppermost part of the ruach. The uppermost part of the ruach is the lowermost part of the neshama. So really, we're just referring to that part. So sometimes the connection to our uppermost part of the ruach is sometimes stronger and sometimes weaker. And they come as an addition to somebody who's zoicha to this. And obviously, also different days differently. That's why we have something called. Right, we have Shabbos, we have what's called Neshama Yisera. Again, that's that connection to some of our parts of
when the
our
neshama changes, which one of the three neshamas change? Like on Shabbos, you have
Neshama itself.
No.
I don't think nothing changes. I don't know if anything changes. There's a Neshama Yisera. It means again that some of the layers come down.
Closer
right.
to you.
Right. So but not the essence of the neshama. That doesn't really come down. And this is what the Goin writes in Heicholis. So they bring it down over here. Again, that the neshama doesn't come down at all because it's complete godliness. Neshama is really like it's still in the world of godliness. V'akol echad, really all of these explanations is one, shebechina atachtoino shel neshama, the lower part of the neshama hamisnoi tzetzes b'deyai that brightens up within a person's knowledge, v'sichlo in his mind, la'askiloi to enlighten him, he hagimel reishin shel haruach v'moichin shaloi. That is really, that part is the upper the three heads. It's called. It doesn't mean three heads. It means the whatever it means. It means the uppermost part of the ruach b'moichin shaloi in its brain. Kamoishi is boyer lefnein Eretz Hashem that will be later explained in Eretz Hashem. Okay, so just to summarize, what did we get from this? So we spoke about the summary that the three parts of our impact on the world, which is action, speech, and a thought, are connected to the three parts of our soul, nefesh, ruach, and neshama. Each one has a symbolic residence in the physical body, and that's the liver, the heart, and the brain, right? And we explained why the word neshama comes from the word breath. It's not referring to breath of a human being. It's really referring to the breath of a Kodesh Baruch Hu, who breathed the neshama into it. So really, it's not some kind of an event that took place, whatever it is, thousands of years ago, where the soul was breathed into the human being. It means that really constantly all of us share that connection, where some uppermost part of our being is still connected somewhere, plugged in into HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we're constantly connected. And so when we talk about kores, the greatest punishment, the kores, means somewhere there is a disconnect. Somewhere somebody cuts the cord between the neshama, which is the pure, so as not to soil the neshama, which is located up and above. There has to be a disconnect so that the signal doesn't go up high. So kores, in a certain sense, is a benefit, because your averis can only reach that high. They have a self-destruct mechanism.
Not to cause worse.
Right, not to cause more damage. Okay, that's it.
Oh, yeah.